What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dan Whitmer of Zen Dude Fitness, and today we're going to be giving you 7 tips to make sure that you stay fit during the holiday season. So guys, today what we want to talk about is how to avoid all that weight gain and excess fat that most people tend to gain around the holiday season. And the first thing that I want to mention is just because it's the holiday season does not mean that this has to affect your physique goals. A lot of people, in fact, worry so much about the holidays, but in reality, it's not that the holidays are here and they can't enjoy them. It's just a mindset that you must take on in order to reach your goals during this time period. So without further ado, we're just gonna get right into it. The first thing that you need to be doing to avoid holiday weight gain and to stay fit is move your body. Now, Brandon and I, for us, our routine spreads all year round. It never changes. But for whatever reason, people typically are trained to fall off the wagon around the holidays. And in reality, guys, there's no reason for this. Just because you have a couple extra travel plans doesn't mean that you can't get your workouts in. So in between all the parties and dinners you're going to with family and friends and coworkers, you need to make time to do the thing. I, Dan, actually do have a pretty specific routine that I follow whenever I'm home for the holidays, and that consists of 100 push-ups every day, 100 ab crunchers every day, probably around 100 squats every day. I know, I'll be totally honest, I don't do 100 squats every single day, but I'm good for about 75% of that. And then I make sure to jump rope for 30 minutes. That is exactly my routine that I'm gonna be following. I just followed that for Thanksgiving. It's the same one that I'm gonna follow for the Christmas holiday. So if you want my exact routine, I just gave it to you. But then also for the workouts, be sure to check out our channel, guys. I linked up a list of great workouts right here that can get you started if you don't have any workouts to complete. So in addition to the workouts on this channel, guys, for Black Friday, we're actually giving you guys an exclusive deal right now on our ZDF Fat Loss Bundle. If you wanna check that out, it's linked up below. In that bundle, you will find our newly released Shredded Ninja Jump Rope Workout Plan, which includes 12 weeks of workouts, all different types of formats. We've been getting a ton of great feedback on it. We've had a lot of people going through this program and getting awesome results. So be sure to check that out. And if you need help with your food, we also included the ZDF nutrition system. And like I said, that's all in the Fat Loss Bundle. Go check that out below. The second thing I want to talk about is using junk food to build muscle. Let's be totally honest, guys. I'm not gonna sit here, now some fitness channels would be like, well, you can't eat any pie, you can't eat this, you can't eat that for the holidays. That is definitely not the type of holiday that I like to have or that Brennan likes to have. We like to indulge. I'm definitely gonna go home and eat a little bit too much apple pie. I'm definitely gonna eat a lot of turkey and a lot of stuffing, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it, and neither should you, but it depends on how you use that food that you consume. All right, so how can you guys use junk food to build muscle? Just let me spare you the science a little bit, guys. Basically what happens when you're doing resistance training like push-ups or pull-ups, or you're doing weightlifting, you're tearing the muscle fibers. And muscles grow by repairing themselves, but they need nutrients to do that. Luckily for you, one of the main nutrients the body needs to repair its muscle fibers is glucose. And you know where glucose is found? In apple pie and in stuffing and all of that great carb-loaded food that you like to eat during the holidays. So, if you go home and lift weights and then you time your meal correctly to eat all those indulgent foods after a weightlifting session or after a bodyweight exercise session, most of that food will actually be stored in your muscle cells as opposed to being stored as fat. A lot of people don't know this, and it's kind of counterintuitive to what you've probably heard in the fitness industry for the last few decades. Now, what I'm not suggesting is that you can just go home and eat tons of donuts and pie and stuffing and you're gonna get super jacked. I'm just saying, since you're already going to be eating a lot of indulgent food that's rich in glucose, it's a good idea to time your workout so that you're lifting weights, doing bodyweight exercises, and then finishing up at the end by eating all of that indulgent food. And in addition to the jump rope workouts on this channel, do not forget, a lot of those jump rope workouts are specifically designed with bodyweight exercises as well. We have a couple on here that include building bigger arms, building a bigger chest, so be sure to go check those out before you eat your carb-rich food. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, is limiting your holiday parties. Now look, do I like to go out and party for the holidays? You're absolutely right. Will I be attending an ugly sweater Christmas party in December? I absolutely will. But is it necessary to attend 3 of them? Absolutely not. So the thing I want to stress here, guys, is picking and choosing your holiday parties and limiting them to 2 or 3. If you attend every single party with indulgent food and tons of alcohol, you are going to set yourself up to lose. You are going to be tempted more than you need to, and you're probably going to end up giving into that temptation because, let's face it, at the end of the day, we're human. So give yourself a win by not even putting yourself in that position, by deciding which holiday parties you want to attend and just sticking to 2 or 3 this holiday season. All right, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is how to deal with your leftover food. So there's 2 different things that you can do, which Brendan and I have talked about. And the first one being throw your leftovers away. There is no need to have leftover food laying around the house. Just because your mother-in-law gives you half a pie and would feel really bad if you threw it out, that doesn't mean that it's okay for her to guilt you into eating something that's not good for you and is not going to help you get to your physique goals. Throw it out and don't feel bad. Look, the way I describe this to people is you can either do 2 things. You can throw it away in the trash can and it'll be wasted food there, or you can throw all that crap food away in your body and it'll be wasted there. You decide. One of them is going to make you look a lot better. One of them is not. So the first and foremost, I want you guys to understand, do not feel guilty about throwing away your leftover crappy food. It shouldn't be manufactured in the mass quantities that it is in the first place. Get rid of it. Now, number 2, for those of you who are like, Dan, that's super harsh. Oh my God, I can't believe you'd throw away your leftover food. There's starving people in blah, blah, blah country. Let me also tell you that sometimes I like to portion my food, but it just takes a little bit of planning. So don't just keep your leftovers in a bit, like don't have a big bowl of stuffing and a big bowl of turkey and a big bowl of pie, because chances are you're probably going to go into those bowls and just eat them and then end up having too many calories at once. So what you should do is a little bit of meal prepping action, which we don't really talk about here at Zen Dude Fitness, but essentially meal prepping is just putting a little bits of each kind of food into Tupperware containers and then putting that away, so when you do want to eat a meal, it's already been portioned out and you know the calories and macronutrients so that you're able to stay in a calorie deficit. Number 5, feast, do not snack. One of the biggest culprits of holiday weight gain is snacking or grazing. And that happens because inevitably you're gonna be hanging out with family, you're gonna be hanging out with friends, and food is just gonna be laying around. I know that I am very guilty of this sometimes, and I try to do a better job each time that I go home to make sure that I'm not snacking, and instead I'm feasting. Feasting is what we always talk about here at Zen Dude Fitness, which just means eating all of your calories and macronutrients in 2 big meals throughout the day, and then not getting any calories the rest of the day by not snacking. So what you can do, this actually works out really great for the holidays, because at Christmas dinners, at Thanksgiving dinners, Hanukkah, things like that, you typically end up eating a very large meal with the people that you're with. So this works out great. Just have a huge meal for lunch, a huge meal for dinner, and other than that, do not snack. Number 6, practice intermittent fasting. Now, I linked up another video to explain the benefits of intermittent fasting and why you should or should not do it. But essentially, intermittent fasting is just condensing the window in which you eat your food so that your body is burning stored body fat for fuel and not glucose because of the food that you've been consuming. So just to be really basic again, that just means waking up and skipping breakfast and not eating your first meal until that 2 p.m. dinner that you have with your family. And number 7, I gotta say this, be smart about the alcohol you are consuming, or be smart about your drinking. Now, let me say first and foremost, if you do not drink right now, that's totally fine. Do not start drinking. It's not something that's good for you, to be totally honest. So don't even drink if you already don't. If you're someone who does drink, I myself do like to enjoy some beverages around the holiday season. Do it in a smart way. For more information on alcohol and fat loss, we linked up another video right here that we shot a couple of weeks ago that'll give you all the details of alcohol and how it affects your body. But long story short, guys, if you're eating a bunch of rich, indulgent food and you're drinking alcohol, when your body goes to burn all those calories, it's prioritizing the alcohol first. So all that leftover food is being stored as fat, causing a double whammy for fat gain. So be very careful of that, and don't be dumb about your drinking this holiday season. All right, guys, and the last thing I want to leave you with at the end of all this, it's just a mindset. There's no reason at all why the holidays have to totally derail people. The biggest reason that I see people fall off the wagon is because they make a conscious choice to fall off the wagon. They stop doing their workouts, they go to parties, they don't care what they eat. All the details I just gave you in this video are more than enough to make sure that you have a structured plan going into the holiday season so that you reach your physique goals. Dan Whitmer from Zen Dude Fitness. Be sure to check out the other videos that I linked up here that will also help you stay lean and fit during the holidays. Be sure to check out our ZDF Fat Loss Bundle that drops today, linked up below. Love you guys, have a great holiday season, and continue doing the thing.